This is a Finnish goshawk. It's North American goshawks are indigenous to the United States, but this is a very similar bird to the North American, but it's from Finland, so it's a captive bred bird.
This is Callie. She's a female imprint gyre-saker falcon. She's actually a hybrid. She's a man-made bird. The two birds that she's out of, her father was a black gyre falcon. They're found in like Newfoundland and Norway, and her mother was an Altai saker that's found in the Altai Mountains of Russia. Well, I started falconry when I was 11 years old in 1965, but I got out of it after when I went to college and work and things like that, and now that I'm retired, I've gotten back into it.
Well, I got into falconry back in the early 80s. In high school, we had what we called a living materials center in the basement of our high school, and it was a bunch of injured wild animals, and they happened to have an injured red-tailed hawk that was there. And when I saw how beautiful it was love at first sight, and it's turned me on to a lifelong sport. But so falconers are only allowed to take wild birds that are immature, because the likelihood is they're not going to make it anyway. And when a falconer takes a bird of prey out of the wild, it really gives them a lease on life. They're going to get constant food, they're going to get veterinary care if they need it, and they're going to get the chance to hone their hunting skills under the partnership with a falconer. In fact, 70 to 80% of birds of prey don't survive past their first year.
It's a real privilege to be able to handle these birds. But there's so many aspects of falconry. Like, we make our own equipment, we build our own mews, we make our own hoods. We're a very self-sufficient lot. And with that many aspects, it just doesn't give you room to get bored with it.
What we do with them is train them to allow us to watch them do what they do in the wild every day. And so we essentially get a front row seat to the nature show, watching them chase. The game that they chase typically is pheasant, duck, quail, rabbit, squirrel, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's highly regulated. In fact, it's the most regulated hunting sport in the United States. It's not like any other hunting sport there is. You can't just put the hawk up in the gun shelf for the season and forget about it. It's a family member, essentially. You have to care for it year round. So there's a lot to it. I would recommend that if you're interested in learning more about falconry, go to our website, which is IndianaFalconersassociation.org. And if you just Google Indiana Falconers, it's the first thing that pops up, and you can learn more about it there. You can also contact the Department of Natural Resources and ask for a packet of information, and they'll be glad to send you information about what's required in terms of legally to be able to have and fly a bird like this. So we really want to caution the public that this is not about having a neat pet. These are not pets. They are wild animals. They're predatory birds, and they have to be cared for under very special conditions. So it's not for everybody, but it sure has added a lot of magic to the lives of those of us who have gotten into the sport. So it's a lot of fun.